What is happening, everybody? My name is Steven or Sajam, and today I'm bringing you guys some tips and tricks for Dead Space 3. Now, if you guys don't know about Dead Space or you haven't played any of the other games, then Dead Space is a third-person survival horror game that has a huge and heavy emphasis on customization, whether that be through your guns, your suit, or anything in between. This game has a big emphasis on, changing the way you play or playing how you want and stuff like that. And it's pretty deep when it comes to that. There's a lot of choices you can make. And you can even build your own weapons based off blueprints you find and using the materials you find and scavenge throughout the game. But the first thing I really wanted to talk about, besides that, was the combat in this game, because the combat in this game is heavily focused on like fast enemies with, good damage, especially if you play in hard mode or hardcore mode. They're really, really strong. So one thing that's definitely important is rocking a weapon that has some kind of knockback or stopping power to it. Like a shotgun is excellent, and many of the guns you can get the secondary fire, the lower tool. You can get a sort of railgun type of attachment and use that. That's really good because it'll stop enemies in their track. I find that without having something to stop enemies, it's really difficult. Another thing is, you want to use your stasis and kinesis. Right here you can see me slow down the enemies because that thing explodes and I don't want it near me, and it's and you find kinesis at a you find stasis at a fairly decent rate, so it's not too bad. As you can see here, I'm just gonna use this against him, and you can use many of the things against your enemies. For instance, when many of the creatures die, you can rip off their limbs and use them as sort of impaling spikes of death, which is freaking awesome. And if you guys want to use that, it's really cool. Just like you can use these to explode creatures, and that gets a little bit more deep into the game, but I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, so I'll let you guys just rock that. So like I mentioned, make sure you get a weapon that has stopping power, preferably something like a shotgun. You can build very early. If you guys have the DLC, then it comes with a sort of shotgun weapon so that you can stop an enemy, just like my friend did there. Use your stasis and your kinesis, and you should have a pretty good time of killing enemies, especially once you put it all together. It's very, very useful. And this game is scary, so try to stay on your toes and be ready for anything. But besides the the combat system and all that, I wanted to talk about scavenging. As you can see here, I'm running around, and instead of taking the lift, I'm going to go over here and grab some ammo. My friend on the other side is doing the same thing, and look at that, we find a piece for our gun. That's something you can add on to your gun, and when you fill your stasis bar, your partner will also receive stasis, which is really good. And it also has a similar attachment for health. When you heal, your partner will get health, which is really, really awesome. So you want to keep on the lookout for stuff like that, because you can also find gun upgrades, and if you walk past them and miss them, you're going to find this game much, much more difficult. Another thing that they have in this game to help you sort of scavenge materials that's new is this little robot that you can throw down. Now this thing is amazing because when you see here, I have this little radar. It's going to glow blue, and that's like an optimal position to throw them down. So when you throw down these little I forget the name of it. I think I'll probably remember in a second. These little robots, they scavenge for you and find materials. So instead of you having to go find them your own while you're fighting all these necromorphs, you can just not deal with it and have your little homie, your little robot, find it for you. Your little miniature Wall-E is going to go all over the place and find you free resources, which is amazing. And you can use those resources to upgrade stuff like your guns on a bench, or find a rig kiosk to upgrade your suit. As you can see here, my scavenger bot has returned, and he gave me a bunch of materials. What a nice pal. You can use these materials to upgrade stuff. Also, I found a scrap box here, which had some circuits on it and stuff like that. It was pretty nice. And once you do use these materials, you can do all kinds of stuff to your gun. As you can see here, I just put that stasis support I found earlier on there. And I wanted to upgrade to something else, but I don't have the materials yet. But you can see here, once I max out my gun, you get an achievement for it. And, it's not even worth doing it for the achievement. It's worth doing it for the fact that it's really amazing and it's going to help you out. And the final tip I wanted to leave you guys with is never be afraid to have a dance party, because a dance party is always a good time.